to the Lumber Lounge and Garage live show. We are here in the Lumber Lounge and Garage by my lonesome today. Shane was not feeling well, so we're here. So welcome, everybody. If you've never been here before, which you probably have, welcome. We are here live. Cheers to you. Cheers to Trav. Cheers to Ed. Cheers to Chap. Cheers to everybody. Let's have a good show by myself. So let's make sure we get a little bit of people commenting and seeing what's going on. We probably won't last 2 hours like we normally do, but we're here and got some water. It's been a been a few days of hanging out with my dad, and so let's get into it. Let's go. I'm gonna put a little music on for us. There we go. We're good. All right. So, like I said, I'm by myself tonight. As you can see, Shane was a little under the weather today, but how can you blame the guy? He's been busting his butt last week for the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial, and man, the guy probably hasn't slept. My dad just texted me he made it home, so that's good. So let's have a good show tonight. Just like I said, it's just gonna be me. So probably gonna be looking at my phone a lot, just to try and look at stats and everything. As we always do, we talk about racing from the weekend before. I am gonna go to. Let's do this because this might be the easiest. So I'm gonna go here. I'll just go to. I'm gonna pull my comments up on here so I can talk to you guys. Let's do that. Right there. Hey, Remy, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm doing well. Like I said, kind of been hanging out with my dad over the last couple of days, getting ready for last week of school with the kiddos. My son, Luca, he graduates, I should say our son, he graduates pre-K tomorrow. So, looking forward to that. My daughter doesn't know it, and she's outside, but she gets an award tomorrow for, I think, Tiger of the Year or something. So looking forward to seeing her get an award tomorrow. It's going to be super awesome. So excited for that. And they're celebrating her birthday tomorrow at the school. So her birthday is actually May 30th, but the last day of school is Friday. So looking forward to that. Carter, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Hope everything's good up your way. Hope all is well, and hope you're doing good, buddy. Hope you get to make it down to the Chili Bowl next year. I really do. I really hope you do. So we're gonna start off with last week. Me and Shane had on Jake Rosario, and so we had the Donnie Ray Crawford Legacy Foundation race, or what do you call it? Memorial race. And let me tell you, we went out Friday night, and man, it was a good race. I was chasing my kiddos around, so I didn't get to see much of the racing, but we can look at results. We'll go straight into Saturday because those are the final days. And so let's go. We'll start with the junior sprint was Mr. Bowie. He won. I always forget his first name. I'm going to have to remember that. There it is, Brighton Bowie. Brighton Bowie won the junior sprint. Chris Carroll won A class. Dawson Woods won restrictor. Outlaw non-wing was Jake Rosario, which, when we had him on the other day, he was really looking forward to that and having him on. So I know he was super pumped about that. Finally, after 14 years of being able to try and win that race, he got one in. Chris Carroll's always good. I mean, that's hard to beat. Brad Best wins in the sportsman, and my good buddy KJ Snow comes in from California, and he wins the A-Class non-wing, which was the big $5,555 check. So super pumped for everybody at the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial Race. I know it was a great weekend for them. Like I said, we were able to go out there on Friday night and hang out and spin the wheel and bid on a couple items. And I know they still have some T-shirts, I think, available, or you can order some shirts. So if you are looking for some shirts from the race, you can go to the Donnie Ray Crawford Legacy Foundation Facebook page, and you can get some stuff there. So, so I know it was a good event for them, and it was good to go. Like, just weather was great. Everything was good. So I need to text my dad back real quick, let him know that I made it too. All right. So the World of Outlaws, I think they got rained out. Let's look at it. Let's go to the World of Outlaws. Speaking of World of Outlaws, my buddy Ethan McDermott, he is the head tech official for the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. He was on a show earlier tonight on another channel. Said he's going to give us a shout out. What was that? Where's it at here? Let's see. It was on, and it was on Dirt Rowdy Nation. And so it's a newer podcast. They don't have a super ton of followers, but go give them a follow. Ethan was on there along with our friend Wes from the World of Outlaws that helped. He does the Mohawk. He was on our show not too long ago. So big shout out to Ethan. He said he was going to wear his bench racing hat. Hopefully it went well for him and they had a good show. It was, I want to have Ethan on so we can talk about, the state of outlaw racing and state of sprint car racing with him being a tech guy. He obviously gets the brunt of it, and outside of the race director, gets a lot of the heat, I guess you could say. So shout out to Ethan and everything he does with the World of Outlaws. Let's see here. Let's look at some results from over the weekend, because they have some races coming up this week as well. They are in 3 different tracks in Ohio. Where are we at? Yeah, so the 23rd, 24th, and 25th this weekend. They're at Attica the 23rd. Sharon Speedway on the 24th. I'm pretty sure that's the Lou Blaney Memorial, and then Atomic on the 26th. So Sheldon ought to be able to have some good runs there. Oh, where are we at? David Gravel's leaving the points. That's kind of not a big shocker. Buddy Kofoid's in second. Logan Schuhart's in third. They were up in PA, so they got rained out at Cornwall Speedway, which was in... I don't know where Cornwall was. That was in Canada. They were able to race at Oshwegan, and David Gravel won that race. Hi, babe. Looking good. It's my wife. She just walked by. I love it when she walks by. It's just amazing. Who is that? What are you guys doing back there? You're soaking wet. Just say hi. Oh, man. Dude, you're soaking wet. I can't have you around the equipment.
Hi.
Thanks, buddy. I love you. So, anyway, so David Gravel won at Oshwegan, and then they got rained out the next day. Say hi, babe.
Hello.
Stella wanted to say hi. So, hey, Lucas, hey, buddy, you're wet. You can't be around all this equipment. Please. Thank you, buddy. I love you. The high limit was also rained out on Saturday. They ran up in New York on Friday, and Justin Peck got him a win up there, and I think it's Ransomville in New York, and then they got rained out, and then everybody showed up at well, not everybody, but Tyler Courtney and Aaron Reitzel and a few others. They showed up to the weekly race at Port Royal, so that was pretty cool to watch them at that weekly race. Sean Hamilton, what's up, buddy? How are you? Michael Johnson, yeah, Seabell's hot. Yep. He was good at last night at Grandview. We'll get into high limit at Grandview here in a few seconds. But yeah, so PA Swing is in full effect for high limit. They actually have the Bob Weichert Memorial this weekend for 3 days at Port Royal, culminating to a $75,000 to win race on Saturday. So that's going to be good for them. Extreme Outlaw Midgets will be in action this weekend at Airport Raceway in Garden City, Kansas. I was actually stopped by the Trifecta shop today, and they got a lot of work going on to get ready for that. So I know that they'll have Cameron Key and Michael Facento in action again this weekend, along with everybody else that runs the Extreme Power Eye, or not Power Eye, sorry, my bad. I'm going to get tore up for that, the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. So a lot of racing action this weekend. Knoxville raced last weekend again. Obviously, they race every week. I think Brian Brown was able to pull off the 410 win. My brother and him had a pretty good night again. So not the results they wanted in the feature, but they definitely learned a lot. So I'm happy for them. Timed in good, had a good heat race. And yeah, so we were able to see some, as Mike said, we were able to see a NASCAR guy, which I don't consider him a NASCAR guy. That's just what he does on Sundays, but he is definitely, somebody that is good in a sprint car, and he was in the Kreitz car last night in Grandview, so that was pretty cool to see. Let's see, what else racing action that happened over the weekend. Huset's had their second week in a row. Caleb Johnson won again, so shout out to him. Shout out to Hunter Hansen for making his second appearance at Huset's this weekend. He won his heat race. I'm not sure where he finished in the main, but getting a heat race win at Huset's in a 305 is pretty huge just because they have a lot of 305s that come there. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. And then what else is coming? So so Outlaws are in Ohio this week, and then High Limits in Pennsylvania. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see who picks and chooses where they go, because where the Outlaws are in Ohio is really kind of the eastern side of Ohio. So mainly your western PA guys will be there, like from Lernerville and all those areas. But your eastern PA guys that run your Williams Grove and your Port Royal and Lincoln and all that, I'm sure they'll be at the high limit race for the Bob Weichert Memorial, because it pays a ton. So that's gonna, it's 70, like I said, 75,000. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, I had to send a text to somebody. Anyway, so there's a lot of good racing over the weekend. Man, you couldn't ask for better weather, and you couldn't ask for better racing. Justin Peck winning the way he did up in New York was amazing. So that was pretty cool. And then last night, Rico just dominated at Grandview. Man, that guy's on another level right now. Him and Ricky Warner are just hot, and they are super fast, which, that's just kind of, you got Ricky Warner. What do you expect, right? Oh, man. By the way, I know it's Wednesday night. It wasn't Tuesday night. So I actually spent last 4 days, I was working and kind of playing a little bit. But my dad came up to Oklahoma, and we got to hang out and play a little bit of golf. And for those who don't know, my dad lives in San Antonio, and I live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. So we don't get to see each other very often. So spending 4 days with my dad, hanging out with him, just getting to see him, and with not having those opportunities very often was pretty cool. And we had a blast. I wanted him to be on the show on Tuesday, But man, we were just worn out, and neither one of us really wanted to do it. So, am I doing good, sissy? Thanks, babe. And so he just texted me, said he already made it back home to San Antonio. So I'm glad I got to hang out with him and see him for a few days. Now I'm back home with the kiddos. Don't touch anything. I'm talking to you, Luca. Don't touch anything. Back home with the kiddos. Like I said, Luca graduates pre-K tomorrow, so we're pretty excited about that. And if he makes it till tomorrow, if he doesn't get away, the camera's up there, dude. Camera's up there. Sissy, can you go around? What are you doing? Are you doing like this? That's my girl. Nuh-uh, you got to go around that way. You get away from the cords. You're wet. Well, that's one way to do it. I hope this is entertaining to everybody. Turn around, look. Say hi. Tell them what you do tomorrow. Come here. Come here. Tell them what you're doing tomorrow.
I'm graduating.
What are you graduating?
For Jesus.
No, what are you graduating?
For Jesus.
No, what class? What grade are you in?
Pre-K.
So you're graduating pre-K, right?
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do tomorrow?
Sing loud.
What kind of songs you singing?
I don't know.
Hey, turn
The hippopotamus. God is watching over you. Jesus loves me. And
okay, so say that again. You're singing what?
And John 3:16.
Really? You're singing all those?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, buddy. Do you know all the words?
Yeah.
Are you excited about it? Yeah. You tell everybody bye and have a good night.
Bye.
Wave at the camera.
Have a good night. Happy birthday, Sissy.
Oh, say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Happy birthday, Sissy.
That was nice of you. What do you want to say? Before you go inside, what do you want to say?
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I got to get back to it.
Live show.
What?
Have a good live show.
Thanks, buddy. I love you. All right, you guys get in and take a bath, okay? Stop. Don't tickle me. I love you. Thanks, guys, for peace. Love chicken grease, right? Don't do that again. My son just flipped me the bird. Don't you do it. Don't.
I stick the middle finger out.
Go.
I stick the middle finger out. I love around in garage.
Oh, just go. Just go.
Daddy, you're a fan. You're a Yankee fan.
What's wrong? I'll give it to you when we get inside, but I don't think Mama wants you to have it. Go. I don't know what's going on with Terre Haute. I looked it up earlier, and it was not on. So I don't know. It said it had ended already. So I don't know if it got rain or what, but they did not race. We can look it up on USAC Steel real quick because they were supposed to be on there, but they weren't. USAC Racing. Tonight's events have been postponed. The track crew has worked all day to get the track into shape for after Tuesday's rain. So they got rain on Tuesday, so yesterday. So that was canceled. So there you go. Now we know. You're in the know. So I'm sure that they will pick that back up tomorrow. Yeah. 10,000 to win. Holman Classic. Tony Holman. Nice. Dirt race. Yeah, sweet. All right, so I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to see if I can get him on the line. Because I want to talk about something that's going on this weekend that I was able to be a part of last year. And if you look up in the top left-hand corner of the show tonight, you can see it. It is the Joe Duvall's Funkadelic. It's the 7th annual Joe Duvall's Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza going on this weekend at Arrowhead Speedway on Friday night and Salina Speedway on Saturday night. I am pretty sure Sean Rahal, what's up, my man? What's up, my man? Shout out to Sean Rahal, man. He had 2 good runs. Well, one run on Friday night that just stuff happens, and then the second night backs it up with an 11th place and a podium. So, shout out to Sean. I know that you guys seen him on the show not too long ago. So, Sean, great job, buddy. Proud of you, and I know Janky came up to help you out, so I'm happy for you guys on that. So anyway, so we have the. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the line. Let's ring a ding him. I did not ask him if he was available. Oh, he just texted me back. So let's see if he'll answer the phone. Let me know if you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear it.
Go ahead, caller.
How we doing tonight, Mr. Duvall?
Oh, we're doing real good. Been on a road trip all day. Broke my daughter out of high school this morning, and actually she just didn't go. We skipped school today. I skipped work. Went to Fort Worth. We ran all over God's creation today, and we are headed back like a rocket sled on rails to Justice, Oklahoma.
Well, that's awesome. Did I see something about some tacos and some tattoos, or just tattoos? I don't know what I seen.
I don't know. We went to. We've had a deal for a couple weeks to go eat at In-N-Out Burger. So we went and had In-N-Out Burger at Fort Worth, and I kind of visited the stockyards there, just make sure there wasn't anything we couldn't live without that she didn't need or anything like that.
Right.
And, I threatened to get a tattoo while we was there, but I opted out, and no piercings, no ink or anything like that. So
we don't have a Joe Duvall's Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza 2025 tattoo anywhere.
Not yet. It's still debatable. It could happen. It definitely could happen. Nothing's out of the question around me, but. We rolled out of there, of course, hit the Buc-ee's, and got up about the state line, decided to venture over to Tishmingo, taking a little bit of local color, and hit the Blake Shelton place there. And
I've never been there. Is it pretty nice?
It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of kind of what you would expect. Somewhat of a beer joint food. I mean, it's got burgers and stuff. I mean, it's all right. It's not terrible. It's for sure fairly priced. For what it is.
Awesome.
And like I said, we darkened the doorstep of there, and we're just rolling up 2 lanes up 99, back to 44, and then we'll really get on the loud pedal.
Yeah, because you have a pretty big weekend coming up. For everybody out there watching in the interweb lands, we have Joe Duvall on with us on the phone live. And I know that he wasn't expecting it, but I had to give him a call because if you don't know about the Funkadelic Dirt Track Extravaganza and Honky Tonk Extravaganza, then you are missing out. I was able to be a part of it last year. Was shooting some shirts and all that, and I wish I was able to be a part of it this year. Just schedules didn't align, but so kind of tell everybody, this is the 7th annual. Tell everybody a little bit about it, and you've been doing a lot of promoting, and you're very good at that, and everybody should take notes. I will just say that. So, but just give everybody a little rundown on what you got going on.
Well, it actually started 7 years ago, or a little bit longer. And Cody Brewer approached me about, doing a race down there at the Red Dirt, and we did one. And I kind of strummed everybody up and guilted them into going and whatnot. And then my buddy Sean Brassfield, we was trying to come up with just something catchy and off the wall, different, and that's where the whole tongue twister name came about, and it fits and it ships. My deal on it is it's 100% pro bono on my end. I just jump up and down find sponsors for the events, try to get butts in the seats and cars in the back gate. And, at the end of the day, hope the racetrack makes money. And generally speaking, they all have so far. There's been, you always have an off night. I mean, we've had a couple of nights that didn't quite hit the mark where it needed to be, but, we've always, they've always invited us back, and wanted to do it again. Last year was a great weekend for both tracks. And before we even left Friday night, they wanted to do it the same date again this year, and Salina was the same way. So, I mean, it was a shoe-in to do it again. And it's, for me, it's cool to be able to race a pretty big race in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a lot of the reasons for, some of the stuff that I've done, just because, there was a lack of, big mod races, around, around where we live.
Yes.
So, somebody need to get the business back up and running, and nothing against B-Mod guys or anything like that, but so many of these tracks had pandered to those, that group of cars or that field of cars. And, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot that I could say there, but at any rate, mod racing is definitely taking a resurgence, and it's, taking back off, and I'm glad to see it,
No, for sure. Earlier in the year, you guys had the XRP race, the 100,000 to win race at Salina. And so, I mean, that you had a bunch of cars that came along with that. You've also teamed up with the Heart of America Tour to help with cars. I mean, that I feel like the Heart of America Tour has really taken a lift on all of this here in the last few years, getting some really good car counts. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. It really was kind of much needed, up through Missouri and whatnot, because you had a couple of tracks that fell off, like Lakeside, CMS. There's a few others that just kind of the participation just fell off, because so many guys. I mean, ultimately, again, some of these tracks, kind of, in my opinion, cheapened their show. And, drop back to just running B-mods. And, so it forced a lot of guys' hands, that's the track they raced at. So they either quit or they built a B-mod.
Right.
And, and everything that glitters isn't gold. Mm-hmm. Pretty soon you've got guys that are racing B-mods that have more money in these B-mods, or as much or more than, open cars, and are racing for less money.
Yeah.
I mean, that just proves my point that 99% of the racers are terrible at math, but just basic high school math.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And it's kind of funny because, you see it across all forms of dirt track racing, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, your late model guys, they race for quite a bit, but their teams cost way more, right? Sprint cars the same way. We actually race because we hate money. We despise money. That's why we race. Yeah, that's a good depiction of exactly what it is. I do think that from my standpoint, not just modifieds and late models, but sprint cars too, are kind of taking a full resurgence back into the market of racing, because you look at some of the Sunday crowds in NASCAR land, and you don't see as many fans in the stands, but I feel like we're seeing more people coming on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one thing that it doesn't matter what you race. I mean, guys really need to pay attention to those stands, even if they're just racing, a Sportsman, a Port City, or whatever, which, by the way, the Sportsman micro class, I have no idea. About the rules, about anything about it. Mm-hmm. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't pick one out of a crowd. But I've always liked the name Sportsman. I think it's a cool class. I like the name of it. But it doesn't matter what you race. If you're racing a Sportsman, at Port, or a pure stock at Salina, or a I'm stock, kind of stock, your stock, not stock at Tulsa, wherever you're racing, take a look at the stands.
Yep.
And that, and if, invite a friend, invite somebody you don't like, and just, try.
Exactly.
It's as much a racer's job to promote racing as it is a promoter themselves. And,
I agree.
And I will tell you firsthand, it's a lot of work. It's not just, those guys that are running racetracks, Shane and, and I don't know who runs Tulsa nowadays, and, Matt over at Creek, it's a lot of work. Those guys, not only are they taking, doing all the crap that I'm doing, these last couple of weeks of people and talking to people and so on and so forth. Those guys are ordering food. They're taking care of the racetrack. They're paying bills. They're cleaning up people's trash that they throw down. Yep. There's so much. They do a lot. And, for people to sit and say, oh, they're not promoting, da, 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 they have no idea how much work it is.
No, they don't.
And even where you're jumping up and down, acting a fool, just trying to get people's attention if there's a race going on, it's a lot of work. And it takes away from a lot of other things you could be doing that's more productive. I know for Joe Duvall and Duvall Electric, I would be a lot more productive, working at the electric shop these next couple, these last couple of weeks and this week. But, my heart is in this deal, and I want to see it, I want to see it do well for years to come. And it's just time that I have to put aside to do it.
And I think that one thing that I like about what you do with this race is that you take care of the racer, right? Like you make sure that they're taken care of. But I think the reason you do that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but and I think that we've had this conversation that you're a fan first, right? Like,
oh, absolutely.
You're a fan of racing, and that's what we all are. Me and Chad Wheeler have had that discussion. Like, we're fans of this before we do anything, and I think that's what makes your show go off so great, is because you understand what the fans want to see, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'll be real honest with you. There's a couple of things that I don't get to make decisions on as far as the races and how what classes get run on those nights. If it was up to me, it would be 2-3 classes tops.
Right.
And I have made it. I'm not happy. Friday night, they have a lot of classes. I'm not happy about it. And there'll be a change in 2026, or I will move somewhere else. I won't have my name attached to that if it runs super duper late, because that's not what I'm about. I don't want to get people there and hold them hostage. They pay a good price to get in the front gate. They need to be able to see what they came to watch.
Yeah, exactly. No, and we've we've had that conversation for years about racing, that if the fan is there till 1:00 in the morning, they don't want to come back, especially a new fan, right? Yeah, like a new fan does not want to be there that late. They want to come, they want to hang out, 10:30, 11 o'clock max, and they want to be able to come in the pits or do whatever they can, spend that extra hour just hanging out, and then they can say, okay, well, I can't wait to come back. But if they're there till 1 or 2 in the morning, then especially the new fans, the diehards, they're going to be there, right? But
yeah, but you got to take a look at the, you got to take a look at the fan base too. A lot of them, a lot of our fans are actually older, and just being honest, a lot of them are used to going to bed before the nightly news.
I agree. I agree.
So we don't need to keep them out, way past their bedtime, then send them home, at 2:00 in the morning with all the drunks that's closed down the bars everywhere else. It's just
exactly.
That's things that you got to think about. I think about anyway. I think about that where I'm in that black truck, heading from one track to another at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and see a car coming towards me. I wonder about, that I think about, what's this guy doing out this late? Is he drunk?
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
No, and I think that, I think that's where even on your, those Castrol weekly series deals with the late models, you you only see the 1 or 2 classes, right? On high limit, you see 1 or 2 classes. You don't even high limit on the weekends. And I'm the first one. I'll complain a little bit because there's too many commercials, right? But at the same time, the feature's over at 9:30, right? Like,
Yeah, and I wish, again, even some promoters, just like racers, are terrible at basic math. I mean, a lot of these classes don't even really pay for themselves with what they bring in the gate. If you're a back gate promoter, they're not even paying for themselves. Give those guys a night off. Chances are they're going to be there anyway to watch.
Right.
Just give them a night off, and make your show better and streamline it.
Yep. I agree.
I don't know. I'm all about that though.
Yeah, and I think you have to be ever changing, right? You always have to try and innovate and make it better for the fan, right? Like, we got to take care of the racers because we're the entertainment, right? Like, we're the show.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it has to be good for the fans.
Yeah.
Good night, kiddos.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end, we are in the entertainment business. It just happens to evolve around racing.
Yep, absolutely. So Friday night, you're at Arrow. Is it Friday or Saturday night?
Friday night's Arrowhead, and Saturday night's Salina.
So last year at Arrowhead, I came and shot some shirts, and we had the Lumber Lounge and Garage Victory Lane. And my good buddy Chad Wheeler was able to get the win. So that was very, very cool for me, and I still have that picture. And so I want to say thank you for letting me be a part of that last year. That meant so much to me. And I wasn't able to make it on Saturday, but you ended up winning on Saturday last year at Salina.
Yeah. It was a wild race, to say the least.
I'll say, I went back and watched it after you told me that. We had a little carnage on sheet metal, but you're able to pull it off. So, like, when getting that feeling of winning your own race, what does that feel like? Like you put all your hard work and effort into it, and then you come out on top. What's that feel like?
Well, considering I thought I was going to go end over end in that one little hoo-ha there, I could tell the car was just destroyed. And to have, wrestled the lead away, and then Tyler Wolf and I having, a dogfight the last 4 or 5 laps, obviously, winning just after, entering turn 1 after taking the checker flag, it was just like, dang,
Right.
Wow. I mean, I always tell people I win a race that's line about every 10 years. And it was just like, the year before, I think I ran second. I led it for a long time, then lost it late to Tyler Davis. And, it was just, and I was on, my right rear tire was corded. I mean, I had a few laps left, maybe, of right rear tire, maybe. And so, I was on way borrowed time. And, it was a huge relief. It was very cool, and it just there was a lot of different kind of emotions going through my head there, of just winning to have. I'd won. There was a lot of different. I swept the weekend at Red Dirt and Creek, and that was pretty cool. But the Salina for me kind of trumped both of those events.
I can see.
I guess the Red Dirt, it was 100 lapper. Then Creek the next night was 30 or 40, whatever it was. But in a roundabout way, because Salina has always just been kind of my Achilles heel over there. Like I said, I can win there about once every 10 years, and we just hit on something there last year. It was really good. And thankfully it was able to hold on those last laps.
Yeah, that's anytime you have some carnage like that, to be able to hang on definitely helps. I was actually able to be in Victory Lane. I don't even know if we went to Victory Lane, but for the very first Funkadelic Extravaganza. So that was a killer epic race. I mean, it was Tyler Davis again, wasn't it? Wasn't it him and Chad? I'm pretty sure it was Tyler. It was either him or Tyler Wolf. It was either him or Tyler Wolf.
The last lap, or it was last corner or last lap. It it was right there.
Yeah.
It was an upset.
Yeah, and and Chad's just sitting there putting around the bottom, and I think it was probably Tyler Wolf, and Tyler was just banging the boards down on top, and typical Red Dirt Raceway fashion, top and a bottom, and what an epic race! And I feel like every race you've had since then was epic. Even when Chad won last year at Arrowhead, I mean they were 3 and 4 wide and lap traffic just moving and shaking, and it's such a hell of a and you tell me. Are these cars that evenly matched and it's back to the driver? I mean, what makes it such a good race?
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, we unloaded at Wichita last weekend, and the top 5 cars was in time trials was like a tenth off of each other, and there's a lot of parity. You get, I think, at the end of the day, I think a lot of times it's kind of who manages their tires the best, and Chad's. I've told Chad this for a long time. I mean, he's a really good wheel, and he's a little bit of a sleeper. I mean, and he's where he's on, he is on. And last year, at Arrowhead, he's really good, and he snuck one out there. And Tyler Wolf's really good there, and I think he kind of surprised us all that night. And and I'll be dang, both of them didn't go get him some practice last weekend over there, so we're gonna have to deal with them Friday night. So,
yeah, who won over there last weekend?
I think Terry Phillips is what I read.
Okay, which I mean, you can never count him out. You know what I mean? Jason Hughes. So are you gonna is there anywhere else to race this weekend other than your race?
The only other thing, for us really is, these stock cars is up north, Minnesota. And I know the first night is already rained out up there.
Okay.
I don't know if Jason's racing with us this weekend, if he's going up north or if he's going to the lake.
I say it's pretty close to home for him.
No, I kind of look for him to be there.
That would be awesome.
And, I think there's a few other little surprises that are liable to show up, but I really feel like, somebody's asked me what kind of car count, and I think 50. I think 50 is a realistic number. Awesome. Yeah. That'd and not so just awesome. So cars. I mean, there's going to be some really good cars there.
And that's one thing I like about, I'm a sprint car guy. Everybody knows that, but I love good racing, right? And I love competitive racing. And I feel like every time I go watch, modified race, a mod race, I guess you call it, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I feel like you have 15 cars that legitimately have a shot at winning every night.
Yeah.
If not 20.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just makes for good racing,
Yeah. Especially when you have the fast mud turtles,
Yes. Fast mud turtles. I love the things that you say and how you it's just so awesome how you I take a lot of notes from you. You probably don't know that.
No.
And
I get that. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I just talk crap, and sometimes it sticks, and sometimes it goes over people's heads. They're like, "What did he just say?
Yep.
What kind of crap was that?" But I'm the same way. I mean, I actually, I grew up, as far as I'm concerned, in a sprint car town, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Never in my life did I ever dream I'd be racing mods, where I was still racing bikes. I remember being at DuQuoin, Illinois, and Alan Lemons was there. It was kind of a fluke deal, but we had a real long delay because the boy got killed that day. And we was kind of talking, and Alan's like, "What are you going to do after you quit racing bikes?" I said, "Well, I figure I'll probably race sprint cars." And bikes, sprint cars were done in Tulsa. But I mean, I love 410 sprint cars. They're money eating man haters, and I love them.
Yeah.
And not very many people know that. I'm kind of a closet 410 guy. So
So
there's that.
I think I found that out one night. I'm standing at Dingus, and lo and behold, I look across the bar in Knoxville, and I see Joe Duvall and his crew there, and I'm like, this ain't the late model nationals here. What are you guys doing here? I think you were on your way to Cedar Lake, and
and we was rolling at 35, and I was just scrolling through Twitter. I was like, oh, but dang, the nationals are in town.
yeah.
I ain't got to be there till tomorrow. Let's make a hard right. So we headed towards, we hit the Knoxville Marshalltown exit, and trucked right on over and parked down at the High V and trucked it on across there and hung out for the evening.
Awesome. That was like one of probably the most shocking moments I've ever had in my life. That is God's honest truth. Like the last thing I ever thought I would see was Joe Duvall walk into. It's kind of like the jokes that always start off. The such and such walks into a bar, right? Like, Joe Duvall walks into a sprint car bar. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't make it up, right? Like those are not things you can make up. So
yeah, I went in as a fan, and then the next thing I know, I know a whole bunch of people, so it was good times.
Yeah, there's but there's good times at every racetrack. And the memories that we get to make. I know you've done a lot of traveling in your lifetime with racing, whether it be a bike or a modified. I've done quite a bit of racing in my lifetime with or traveling with racing in my lifetime. And the one thing that I enjoy the most, I don't miss really the traveling, but I miss the people, right? Like the people that you get to meet, that you meet all throughout the country, that you build this bond with, and you might call them 5 years and be like, hey, I'm running through town. You want to grab lunch or something? Oh, absolutely. Or, oh, you need a place to lay your head. Oh, absolutely. You need a place to park. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like you get that anywhere else.
Oh God, I've slept on so many couches in the United States. It's yeah.
So I can say that because I've slept on so many couches, I was able to return the favor. And it was right before Kenny Woodruff passed away. I got a phone call from Tim Green. I'm sure you know who Tim Green is. Tim Green was a Hall of Fame sprint car driver. And him and my dad were friends back when they raced. And he's from California. He lives up in Idaho now. But Tim calls me and he said, hey, Ronnie Shaver told me I need to come out and see Kenny. Because, obviously Kenny lives here in Broken Arrow or did live here in Broken Arrow. And he said, I'm flying in, but I'm flying out the next day. I just want to, me and Shane Carson and Ronnie Shaver, and I forget who else was all meeting over there to say hi to Kenny. And I said, yeah, dude, whatever you need. And I was like, do you want me to make you a bed up, whatever? He's like, no, I just need your couch. True racer, right? I just need your couch. And I mean, this guy's 67, he's probably 70 years old. And he just wanted my couch, And man, as true racer form, his flight got in late. He came over in his rental car. We got to chat a little bit. I probably hadn't seen him since I was, probably 8, 9 years old. And he slept on my couch. And the next morning he got up. He went over and seen Kenny. And he went to the airport after that. He texted me when he got back to Idaho. And I was like, man, that's cool. I had a Hall of Famer on my couch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you ought to ask Carbone sometime about being a kid at his place, growing up.
Dude.
He said, get up on Saturday morning and just go in the living room and see who might have slept on the couch the night before. It was definitely, I don't know, it was a Hall of Fame couch,
I had him on at the Chili Bowl this year, and I was very fortunate that out of their busy schedule, he was able to come by and hang out with us. And we talked about Chili Bowl, right? We talked about Trifecta, but we talked about Chili Bowl. But one of these days, we're going live at Trifecta, and we're doing a history rundown. Like we're gonna, what was it like, Steve? Right? Like, just sitting there and just hanging out there and hearing the stories and looking at everything that's around there in the shop is just amazing in itself, right?
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, it's definitely. There's some stuff that's not even some of the stories. But I mean, I'll just say that just to say it. But he has some really cool stories and some very interesting stories from Lloyd K. All the walk traveled through that door, and it's crazy to think that on 11th Street, Admiral, in Tulsa, that people don't even know about,
Yeah, and it kind of for Shane. So Shane's obviously he's normally here on the show with me, and a lot of people know that he used to work at the engine shop, and him and Darren Pittman both. And so I called Shane one night, I texted him or whatever, and I said, "Hey man, I'm down here at Trifecta," and he goes, "Man, I'm gonna come down there." And Shane hadn't been there since he worked at the engine shop. And he walked in, and man, he told me, "Man, I kind of got chills walking in here. Like I haven't seen this place, and like to see it now, and like to know everything that went on here, and just even when it was strokes and spokes or whatever that was that Paul had, and like just the amount of history, and that's what keeps our sport going is people knowing our history."
It was cool to drive by there as a kid. On Saturdays and see them orange four-door Chevrolet dualies hooked up to trailers sitting out front. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was like really, really cool. And, there's pictures don't do that stuff justice of how cool those cars look and stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the coin investment cars that Tommy and Emmett had. Those white and purple cars were beautiful. I mean, candy purple and pearl white. What wasn't painted and pretty was chrome. I mean, those cars back there were just beautiful.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading something on the chat. It was and to still see those pictures, right? Like to know that those are still up there and hanging up, and even I know you go by there. I know you and Carboni are good friends, and you guys do a lot together, but man, it goes back to being a fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what it goes back to.
I was a fan long before I ever got to race.
Yep. Robert Lee, Robert Lee. He's over there at Arrowhead. He said that Hughes was there last week.
Yep.
So, Robert reached out to me, and we're still going to do this. And I talked to Shane about it. We talked about it on the show the other day, but we're going to do a roundtable of all the promoters here, with Shane and Matt and whoever does run Tulsa right now. I'm not sure who it is. And get these guys together and just have a roundtable so people can truly understand what it's like to run a racetrack.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good education for a lot of people that want to get on the internet and just start bashing, right? Like earlier this week, I made a comment on Facebook because I just get tired of seeing it, and I said, shut the fuck up and race, because at the end of the day, like these people are, putting their life and heart and soul into these tracks to be able to give somebody a place to race on the weekends, and it's a small few that want to bitch and complain, but that small few turns into a lot. And so I think that at some point, and maybe you need to be there, right? Like we need to have, because as a promoter, not just a track owner, you go through it, right? Like even after your races are over, like there's people that aren't happy because you're never going to please everybody, right?
I mean, it's I got browbeat last year over a deal that I had no control over. Arrowhead doesn't sell beer.
Yes.
And that is, I got browbeat over it by a couple of fans. And it's like, I have no control over this.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's their choice.
I can't help you. I guess smuggle you, keister you some in there. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's not going to change.
No, it's not going to change. And, that is, that's something that that particular racetrack could be doing to generate money, but they're not. Mm-hmm. So that's that much less money that racetrack takes in on a night. Mm-hmm. And if people really saw the numbers, I think they would question guys like Shane and Willie and Matt. Like, why are you guys even doing this?
Yeah.
Because there's so many other things that a guy can go do to make money. Yeah. And I hope they're not listening, because I appreciate what they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, you take, and I see this a lot, your local speed shop, like, Mike and Judy at Car and Fleet, yep. Go support those guys, even if you can order it from Speedway or whoever those guys order stuff from, and mm-hmm. you can get it to your door. Man, let them make a few bucks, because, Speedway is not going to be at your doorstep where you need some tear-offs on Saturday morning.
Nope.
And, whenever your local speed shop's gone, you're gonna realize how, crucial they were to your survival. And, support those guys, because they're also the guys that, a lot of times they're toting notes for people, that can't pay their bill this week. And, they're, hey, I'll bring you a payment by next week. Mm-hmm. Those guys they're doing that. Engine builders are the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
Take care of those people.
No, and I agree with you 100%. Mike and Judy, what they've done for years. I don't know what that was. Mike and Judy, what they've done for years, and then even Harley and Holly over there at Driven Midwest, right? Like, and even your on the micro side, right? Like, you got all these chassis manufacturers here in town. Support them as well. It's just and for the guys in the late model world, Car and Fleet has everything, or not late model, but the modified world. Car and Fleet can get that for you too. I think people think that Car and Fleet's more, is only micro and sprint car, but you go in there, Mike will get you what you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, I think if everybody's like, especially racers, right? Like, you're right. Like, you can order it on Speedway, you can order it on Smiley's, but I mean, Mike lives in Coweta.
Yeah.
Lives right down the road from me, and Harley and the Holland family, they live over out here in Broken Arrow, but yeah, no, I agree with that statement 100%. That's awesome.
And I'm sorry, I forget about them over there. They've got a beautiful place they've built.
Man. Building a beautiful place. Yeah.
It's very, very, very cool. I mean, mm-hmm. Nice. It has his name all over.
As he has to say, Harley Holland. He doesn't do anything half-assed. You know what I mean? It's so nice.
He can't even spell that.
No. I agree with you. The other night they did a deal, which I thought was pretty cool, because there was, the sprint car guys, they got a little rough and tumbly the other night, last week at Tulsa Speedway and at Creek County, and true Harley fashion, 10% discount if you ran those races to help you get on bolt-on parts, right? To help you get back at the track. I mean, dude, like that's the people you support. They're trying to help you.
Hey, speaking of which, you're in Amarillo. Hello, Lubbock.
You cut out for just a second. What'd you say?
Okay, aren't you from Amarillo or Lubbock?
No, I'm from Kansas City, but I lived in Lubbock for 5 years.
Okay, so Harley's Amarillo.
Oh, we might have lost him. I think he's back. Are you back?
Yeah, I think I'm back here.
Okay.
Have you ever? I'm pretty sure Harley's an Amarillo guy. You ever seen a soapbox derby car?
I have seen a soapbox derby car. Yes.
that is so cool. And he kind of told me the story about.
Oh, you're talking about Harley's?
You know?
Yes, I have seen that. Yes, I have. Yes,
that is pretty cool. That's a lifelong racer right there.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
So Harley, you're right. Harley was born in Amarillo, and him and Scott Brown, which people know Scott Brown's Love Cracker Service. Their dads were best friends, and so they all kind of grew up together. And Harley migrated out this way, and he brought that soapbox derby car with him, and it's up in the shop over there. It's up on the like the mezzanine or whatever in the shop where they build the cars at.
Yeah. Where I was a kid, I wanted one of those so bad, along with a quarter midget. I mean, I would have gave about anything. God, I wanted a quarter midget so bad because they were just cool. You know, they were looked like, you know,
head hanging out the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
which thank God we don't see that as much anymore. Them hanging out the side as much, but exactly.
You know,
true racer.
Supposed to be
true racer. It's dangerous.
Racing's supposed to be dangerous. The day it's not dangerous, I'm out.
I agree with that. Me and my dad talk about it all the time.
Maybe I'm morbid, but
no, you're not.
You wouldn't watch bull riding if it wasn't dangerous.
Oh, agree 100%. My dad tells me all the time. He goes, these racers, they're just a bunch of pussies. These new racers. I like your dad already.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you and my dad get along great. He goes, these pussies don't want to race, blah, 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 blah. And like, I was with him the last few days, and I was wanting to have him on, and we were so worn out, we just didn't want to do it. But man, like he was a racer, you know, like he goes, I gave up everything to go race.
Yeah.
He goes, I wanted to race.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he goes, you know, there's things that I did that, you know, it didn't matter to me.
Wanted it worse than his next breath.
Yeah. He said, I didn't care who was around me. I just wanted to go race. Yeah. He goes, and that was the selfish side of me. He goes, I just wanted to race. That's all I wanted to do. And I think that people like you still understand that.
Yeah.
But I think that
probably all too well at times, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think there's people that now you'll have some dads nowadays that'll, you know, whatever it takes, right? But do the kids really understand that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's some. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to be careful when I.
No. I understand that.
I think that, you know, I think there's a lot of dads that are racing through their kid, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's respectful. I mean, you know, there's somebody out there doing it, you know, making it happen so, you know, the kid can race, you know, but some of them also need to have realistic expectations, you know.
Yes.
And that's that fine line. That's a slippery slope there. It's just, you know, have realistic expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, not every kid, I mean, if your kid, you know, is a star baseball player in Little League or whatever, that doesn't mean he's going to be playing for the Yankees or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't even know any baseball teams at Yankees or whatever. That's not just a shoe in. I mean, just because your kid won that, you know, 3 features at Port City last year doesn't mean he's going to be the next Jeff Gordon.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of things that have to happen there, you know.
And I think that's what we are no different than any other sport. We're a funnel, right? Like at the base, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But as the higher up you go, so like you look at baseball or football or whatever, as you get older, as you get into high school, okay, you get to high school, you got to try out, right? Like teams get smaller, right? Like, and then after that, you go into college, teams are even more smaller. And then you go, oh, you want to be a professional? Yeah, well, there's only 32 professional teams in football, right? There's hundreds of colleges.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, people don't understand that side of it, that, like, you can't just throw money at it and expect.
It's an elite. it's an elite thing,
Yep.
And I mean, and the thing about it is that most, a lot of them that really push their kids have never understood what it's like of the difference of having to go race and wanting to go race. And that is where you have to, you miss things.
Yeah.
You miss things, a lot of things over the course of my life. I've missed a lot of things, and some of them I didn't have to, but I thought I had to.
Right.
And others I had to. And, it's a whole different level of commitment. And you have to, and it's not, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and it dictates what you do.
It definitely dictates what you do. Oh, we got a few comments here. Jeff Smith said old school. Hell yeah. I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody more old school than the man that's on the phone right now. I promise you that.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Robert Lee said they don't sell beer yet. So maybe they're thinking. Maybe.
Maybe.
Mr. Joe Schneider, my good buddy from Nebraska. He's actually in Indiana. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate the coins or whatever. He also said there's very few these days, and you're correct. I lived racing through my son. I never wrote big checks. I didn't have the money. But there's a difference, right? Like there's a difference between living through your son, which, by the way, Joe Snyder's son is a very good race car driver, and cool. He races sprint cars in Nebraska. Oh, Stu Snyder, Superman. He's won some championships in 305s and 360s, and he's a good racer. But he also taught his son how to race and go find what he needs to help him race. And I think
which is a craft in itself.
Yes.
It's a race craft. It's all part of it. And kind of where I say, racing through their son, that's not a bad deal.
No.
If it's done correctly, there's a right way and there's a wrong way.
Yes. I think if you're racing through your son to fulfill your unfulfilled dreams, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But if you're racing through your son or daughter, right? Let's because you want to see them succeed and see their accomplishments, then that's the good thing.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're raising a kid that's respectful too,
yes.
There's kind of like I told mine. It's more than just there's, she has a brand name, and people will watch you not just on the racetrack but outside the racetrack. Unbeknownst to her, she goes to Port City last week with some old friends of hers, and they're out there and they run into 2-liter, and he goes, "Hey, are you Addison Duvall?" She goes, "Yep." He goes, "I know your dad." It was awesome.
Yeah, that's
But there's just at the end of the day, you want all of us want our kids to be respectful.
Yeah. And talk about a legend in old 2-liter, man. That guy. Yeah, I get to go have lunch. He's one of them guys that's down there at Trifecta. You get to hear these stories, man. Like it's just so amazing to hear.
What's funny about that is I didn't even know he had a real name. I've known him for 30 years, and I never even knew his real name until 5 years ago. Well, you got a real name?
Yeah. So Bob, obviously, 2-liter. Yeah. So he's actually from Kansas City, Kansas, where I'm from, and we didn't know that, and so we grew up in Wyandotte County. So it's which is where Lakeside is. So
yeah.
Yep. How you doing, baby girl? Can you say hi to Joe?
Hello.
Hi.
She turns 7 next week, don't she?
7.
Yep.
Good times.
7 next week. Last week of school. You never know. She might play hooky on Friday.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
What?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
The love for your daughter is uncomparable.
Oh yeah.
Uncomparable.
I wouldn't trade her for anything but a couple of her.
Right? Exactly. So, man, Joe, I appreciate you answering the phone and hanging out with us tonight.
Anytime.
Be sure to go check out the Joe Duvall Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza this Friday night at Arrowhead Speedway and Saturday night at Salina Speedway. You will not have a good time. I'm throwing a double negative out there.
Yeah, it's if you don't have a good time, there's therapy.
What right? What do they say? You pay for the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge.
Yeah.
And what a great show that Robert Lee puts on, and the whole staff at Arrowhead Speedway, the facility and everything they do for not just modified racing, but just racing in general here in our local area. Such a nice facility, and the money that's been put into that to just rejuvenate it. We needed a track like that around here.
Well, and the light show, I don't know what you call them, the fire cannons or whatever they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff's cool.
Yes.
To me, it gives it the wow. And I mean, you hate to take somebody to a place like Arrowhead or Lucas for their first ever time to a race because you'll ruin them. You've got to take them someplace like Crawford County.
Yes.
Or you fill in the blank there. You got to take them to an old, well-worn place before they ever, for their first race, and then for their second race, you can take them to Lucas or Arrowhead.
Exactly.
And not knocking Crawford or anything like that, because some of them old places are just absolute wore out dumps. Race better than the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, if we didn't have shitholes, is what we call them, right? If we didn't have shitholes, we wouldn't have anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
race them all. I'm actually generally better at the dumps than I am at the nice places. But
so you've raced at quite a few racetracks.
The cool thing nowadays is to count how many racetracks you've been to.
Mm-hmm.
I started racing in 1980. There's a lot of them that have parking lots built over the top of them now.
Yep.
I can't even remember some of the places I've been. But that's the cool thing. But some of the better places I've ever raced were actually just total dumps.
Mm-hmm.
But they raced good.
So outside of Arrowhead Speedway and Salina Speedway, because obviously that's where your races are, what's your favorite racetrack you've ever raced at?
My favorite racetrack I ever raced at. Ooh.
How about this? We'll give us a top 5. That way you don't have to. That way you don't have to single it out, right? In no particular order.
No particular order. Well, my top 5 are definitely Deer Creek, Outlaw, Devil's Bowl.
Yes.
A place called Atchison, Kansas, which no longer exists.
I remember that track.
It was just a rip-it-out cool place. I mean, you were busy. You weren't going, I don't know, you was going 50 mile an hour maybe, but you were busy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, last but not least, I've always been good at Knoxville. I would say Knoxville, probably.
I didn't know you actually raced at Knoxville when they had the modified show.
Yep, I've raced mods there. I've raced bikes there. I
Ooh.
won Knoxville in 99, I think it was. 99 or 2000, one of the two. I don't remember what year it was.
On a bike or in a modified?
Yeah, in bikes.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was a wild race, to say the least.
I bet they haul ass there.
Yeah, I led it for a long time. And I had kind of used my tire up, and I think at the time I didn't move around enough, and they had a red flag with about 5 to go, and of course they restart single file, and the guy who was leading missed a shift, stacked everybody up, and I got the lead, and I won it by about a half a bike with no tire left. And it was just kind of one of those races. My aunt and uncle had went with me. I mean, it was a really wild turn of events how it all worked out. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You know, I one of my ultimate goals in life is to be in victory lane at Knoxville with a car that I work on because my dad won there, and it's it's cool to see my brother and his car and that they're really close to doing that. But man, how just the generations, you know how it goes, man. Like,
yeah,
it's just part of it. So,
yeah.
But I know we can go on for hours, and I hope did you make it back to Justice, Oklahoma?
Nah, I'm getting ready to hit 44 now, and I'm down here at about Wellston, and
okay,
and we're on the downhill side.
Well, that's what I like to hear. So, well, you have an awesome weekend this weekend.
All right, man.
I appreciate it. Oh yeah, absolutely. And thank you again, Joe. And good weekend. And we'll do a recap next week.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you.
See you, Joe. Bye. Well, what a turn of events for us. We were able to have good old Joe Duvall on the show tonight to hang out with us and shoot the shit about not only his own races, the Joe Duvall's Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza, but also racing in general. Yeah, having his point of view is always cool to me because for being a sprint car guy and having that outside hand, right? Like knowing that there's people that watch our sport of sprint car racing that aren't involved in sprint car racing and they're fans of it. Especially knowing that he's, like a big closet sprint car fan is so cool to me. And because I'll be honest with you, like I'm a closet late model guy too. Like I love watching late models and modifieds and just every kind of a sport of racing. It was cool to find out that he actually raced at or won a race at Knoxville. That's pretty dang cool too. So, we couldn't do this without everybody that enjoys racing, and me and Shane wouldn't be able to sit here and talk about the races that go on if it wasn't for all the fans out there. So, please support your local dirt track this week. My allergies are kicking my butt. My wife is standing here and she looks amazing. What? Don't give me that look. You want to say hi? Okay. But anyway, so please go out and support your local dirt track. If you are in the Tulsa area, and you want to go see a fabulous race, I know it's Memorial Weekend, but it will not disappoint you. Please go to Arrowhead Speedway this Friday night to support Joe Duvall, because he supports racing so much, not just modifieds, every type of micros, sprint cars. You see Duvall Electric all over the place that supports everything. So can you tell everybody good night?
Good night.
And thank you for being with us tonight on the Lumber Lounge and Garage JST Motorsports bench racing show. I'm gonna go off and read off the list of all of our fabulous and wonderful people that help us out and that are able to make this possible. Obviously, JST Motorsports is the number one. Like, they have come on board this year to really help me and Shane make a better show for you guys and better quality show. Clint Wilson, by the way, I did see your comment that it was getting dark in here, but I wasn't going to interrupt Joe when you said that. So we're working on that. But it was also my garage doors open, so it was the sun was out when we started, and it obviously is not out now. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. It was a blast. I still enjoy doing this by myself. It is more of a hassle when I do it myself because I have to pay attention to all the comments and everything. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I do wish that you would all go to thelumberlounge.com and check out our swag. One of the other ways that we are able to do this is by you guys going and purchasing some of our swag. We do have bench racing shirts and hats online. If you do order a bench racing hat, please be patient with us. We are waiting for some more stock to come in. I actually had a customer the other day that I was shocked that I never met the guy, and but he ordered a hat, so I had to text him. And our good, I would say good buddy, but I don't really know him. But Brock Zierfoss, so I had to text him and tell him that we're waiting on some more hats. So I appreciate everybody that supports the brand, that supports me and Shane. And we enjoy doing this for you guys. It takes time out of our day to do it, time out of our night, actually, to be able to sit down and talk with you guys. So you guys taking time out of your evenings to watch us really means a lot to us. And please go out and support Port City Raceway as well, because Shane and Jen put their heart and soul into that place, just like most people do that own a racetrack. And be sure, if you are in the Ohio area, go out and check out the World of Outlaws this weekend. They will be at, what was it? I think it was, yes, babe? You want me to be quiet right now? Or, when I come in the house? Okay. I can't have dinner. My wife just told me I can't have dinner. She called me fat, but it's okay. I love you. I got the biggest high roll ever. But anyway, we could not do this without everybody that supports us. Kaiser Racing Wheels, Abilene Powder Coating, Hoagie's Garage, My Race Pass, Ryder Mac Racing, Flying A Motorsports, Hasty Baked Charcoal Grills, Horizon Whiskey, Perfect Turf, Lambert Property Service, Hero Haven, Kiwi Landscaping and Maintenance, and everybody else that has been a part of this journey that we've been on for the last 4 years. And if you want to be a part of it, please let me know. We'll figure out a way. And it's been fun. It's always fun. We'll be back next week. Shane will be back next week. He was a little under the weather. Last week was a big week for him. Shout out to Jake Rosario for coming on last week, and to the whole Crawford family for having such a great event over at Port City over the weekend. We love all you guys. Thank you guys for participating. We will see you next week back on the JST Motorsports Bench Racing live shows here from whether it's my garage or a Bob Stern 5 or somewhere else. And please, also, if you're in the Southwest Kansas area, you do not want to miss Airport Speedway with the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. The Trifecta guys will be there. Got my Trifecta shirt on tonight. Again, appreciate every single one of you. We will see you next week. Have a good night.